live by inviting the intellectuals on various topics, especially career guidance and communication skills, soft skills related topics. Today we have our resource person, guest speaker, Dr. Sridhar Madhi, who is an associate professor in the Department of English at Anurag University. He is not only an English teacher but also is a personality development trainer. He is a music. No, he has learned Carnatic vocal and bhajans. He has sang many bhajans and also vocal songs. He has recorded many and he has trained many people. And he is also a person who teaches on human ethics, values, and virtues, which is very important. He is a very much potential resource person in the foundation skills for the freshers, that is engineering students, who trains in group discussion, mock interviews, and also he is a person who trains make them the exclusive skills and job seeking, job getting, or job holding. He has been continuously training people of all age groups of areas, no, irrespective of urban, rural, town, tribal. You ask, you mention, he is always there. And he talks more about the communicative skills in English through the language lab approach, and also he is himself conducts a lot of interactive workshops, seminars, satsangs. His vision is peaceful society and mission is to purify an integral personality. So now I invite Dr. Sridhar Madhi to talk on the session topic called Talk. Welcome you, Madhi Sridhar.
So thank you, Maheepathi Srinivas Rao sir, for your kind words. Uh, I mean, so surprisingly, I thought of going with a topic called talk, Maheepathi talks. Most of them are uh, familiar with this Maheepathi talks. Then let me speak for 15 to 20 minutes related to this topic. Okay. Um, I mean, to start the session, have a glance to this. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. So, on the top of this, plastic pen stand, you don't have any. It's empty. It's empty. See here. So, in general, whenever I start any one of the session, I go with one of the wonderful thought-provoking sayings. Here it goes. Saying. A single conversation across the table with a wise man is worth reading months of books. I repeat, a single conversation across the table with a wise man is reading months of books. It's valuable. What does it mean? To expand, say here. Now the discussion is on talk. And by the way, I remember my uh, Guru, Nomra Satyanarayan sir, often he speaks whenever he starts any discussion, any talk. Okay, with a wonderful Sanskrit expression called Bhashanam Sukhanashanam. I repeat once again, Bhashanam Sukhanashanam. So when it comes to talk, what is the first problem you're going to face? What is the suppose I'm going to give a talk on talk. So if you refer the dictionary meaning of talk, it's simply it can be a conversation, a discussion, a speech, or maybe public speaking, any such. It's purely talking. So whenever we ask you to speak, what is the first problem you're going to face? As per as my knowledge concerned, as per as my understanding concerned, you're going to be with two two areas, two discussions. One is what to speak, and the second one is how to speak. I repeat, what to speak, how to speak. Suppose on the spur of the moment, if I ask you to speak on, uh, and today we lost one of the great psychologists, okay, Pattabhiram Garu. If I ask you to speak on Pattabhiram sir, where you don't have any idea what the hell you speak. So the first problem you're going to face whenever it comes to anything, what to speak. And the second area of when you talks is how to speak. So if we can work on these two areas called what to speak and how to speak, you're going to have a wonderful conversation. And you can turn your conversation to wise enough where people listen to you. Hello? So coming to the first area of what to speak to start your talk. So how to be a good uh, speaker when you start your talk? Do you have any such secret or any such wonderful idea? Here I would like to mention one of the wonderful quotations said by Francis Bacon, father of English essay. A beautiful expression. Anybody can practice and work on, and you're going to be a wonderful speaker. You can go for any talk or presentation or research. Here it goes. Reading makes perfect, writing makes exact, speaking makes ready. When I have been doing some sort of sessions with engineering graduates and others, they come with a typical expression when I ask them to come on to the days and speak for a while, give their talk, and the routine expression, "Sir, I have stage fear." Hello? They come with a typical simple expression called "I have a stage fear." For your kind information, it's not stage fear; it is a fear on what to speak. Okay, so unless you have been with this wonderful thought process said by Francis Bacon, reading, writing, speaking, then you can't be a speaker. You're not going to have any talk. So whenever you thought of speaking, going to give a talk, read for your kind information. Okay. What do you mean by your complete talk? It simply depends on the time you spend with reading. Yes, go through on whatever the topic you thought of. You have now you're lucky enough where you can listen. Podcast is that and read comprehensively. Depends on the time and of course the audience and all these things. Once you have gone through the reading process, then jot down the points. Writing. Reading makes perfect, writing makes exact, speaking makes ready. It's not exact what Francis Bacon said, but broadly. So the time you spend reading is going to help you to have clarity on what to speak. How come if you can write? So have an exact idea on what you're supposed to speak. So read, write, have an idea what you're supposed to speak. In general, you go with introduction, body, conclusion, and all. Okay. Then the final area, speaking makes ready. How do you get ready yourself to be a speaker, to give a talk? Do some sort of rehearsals. You have a wonderful device, your mobile, catch it, record everything, what you're supposed to speak before going to give your talk. And once you have clarity, some sort of confidence that yes, I can do better, some sort of practice, rehearsals, then work on. So an easy remedy for any one of the problems when you thought of speaking or giving a talk, especially coming to this first area of problem called what to speak, that is that can be easily overcome by being with this. Reading makes perfect, writing makes exact, speaking makes ready. So it's not stage fear or some other fear. It is on, it is simply on what to speak fear. Once you have come across this problem on what to speak, then you're ready. And let me add some information regarding communication. Okay, speaking is one of the areas of your communication. So when you're going to give any talk or anything, it comes under communication. And communication broadly divided into three areas. What are they? First one is verbal, second one is non-verbal, and the third one is paralinguistics, or you may call it as voice modulation or tone modulation. So, in general, the linguists, when they calculate this particular communication with 100%, for Indians, they are going to give 8% for verbal, 8%, or 7, sometimes 6. So, let it be 8. And non-verbal communication, 57%. And paralinguistics, 35%. And coming to this first area, what is verbal? For your kind of information, simply I can say the discussion is on what to speak. So that means the language, the vocabulary, the content, okay, the literature, and your thought process, how to make your thoughts into words, into sentences, into wonderful spontaneous or flow. For your kind of information, it's only 8% of your communication. I hope you are following my talk. So once you're ready with your 8% talk, that's called on what to speak, then the remaining process starts. I hope, you're listening to me. So in general, when it comes to any talk, the first, and the foremost problem where one has to be clear whether you are whether you have clarity on this verbal part or not. Once you have clarity on what to speak related to the 8% out of 10% of communication, then go for the remaining areas of communication. For your kind information, talk is one of the areas of communication. Then coming to non-verbal communication. As you know that, it's familiar. Okay. Not going to give any unknown or other secrets. It's all familiar with all. So non-verbal communication includes eye contact, posture, gesture. Okay, but not everything. Sarvendriyanam nayanam pradhanam, and you need to cross-check your aharya. Okay, suppose now I'm talking to you. If I'm unable to use all my expression within my face, within my face, then it doesn't make any sense. Irrespective of audience, irrespective of listeners, I must make myself comfortable with my 57% of communication. That's called non-verbal communication. Broadly, we call it as body language. Then coming to the other area, paralinguistics. What is paralinguistics? For example, see here, if I'm not audible to you, that's again one of the problems. Okay. So, to be a singer, one should have wonderful vocal cords. But to be a speaker, whatever the vocal cords we have is enough that you can use it. So, why can't you make your talk, your voice modulation, your tone, lovable, friendly, comfortable? So, if you have such a wonderful, voice, people listen to you. Sometimes I say that, okay, though you're not, a singer, though you're not a singer, okay, if I compel you guys to sing one of the songs in any competition or maybe in English lab, so you read and write and go be with your what you may call rehearsals, and somehow you present, you sing, though you don't have such vocal cords. To be a singer, one should have wonderful vocal cords. Okay, and you should know the voice modulation. In general, we call it as Shruti, Laya, etc., etc. So why can't we apply the same approach when it comes to speaking? Can't be speaking like singing? Yes, of course. Okay, my father, I remember, he used to sing a song. Okay, పాఠాలే పాటలుగా వల్లించితే పాటలుగా వల్లించితే విరామం విలాసం విరాజిల్లుని పాడుకో పాడుకో. A wonderful, I mean, song where I learned from my father. So use, I mean, your vocal cords and make your talk a wonderful, lovable, with a melodious, I mean, voice. Please remember, 93% of communication or 92% of communication deals with non-verbal communication and, of course, voice modulation. And see here, the very important area I'm going to touch. Okay. If someone asks that whenever someone hesitates to speak, it's not that linguistic barrier or maybe I mean okay I mean some other barrier, and that you can overcome by the secret reading, writing, and speaking. What to speak. Then the very important area, there is psychological barrier. Okay. Once again, remembering the psychologist Pattabhiram sir. Okay. So how to overcome this? Broadly, what are the I mean, Maheepathi sir is a psychologist, and he's going to give some talks on it. Okay. In general, when it comes to talk, how do you need to overcome this psychological barrier? Because once you're done with one of the thought process, you need to stand before, or you need to converse with other. There the okay, some sort of problem starts. So how to overcome this? Remember the very important points here. Who has to overcome? You. Hello? So once you know that it's you have to overcome, remember, okay, again I'll come back to, I mean, skills. Any skill. No, I'm not going to talk about LS or W skills. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. That's okay. For example, okay, when swimming. Okay. Uh, these are the basic, I mean, information I'm going to discuss. Okay. I hope you enjoy what I'm trying to say. I'm discussing. So, swimming. I provided wonderful content, and there are wonderful videos, and of course, I mean, some sort of tips, everything. Okay. I made you guys to go through all these things, and you was listened and all these things. Are you able to swim? So that means you need to make use of all this, I mean, knowledge or whatever you have been by practice. So unless you jump into the water, unless you, I mean, make use of all this information, the tips or the video techniques and all these things, being in water, jump into the water, it's quite impossible to learn swimming. Similarly, if at all you want to give a talk, if at all you thought of speaking something, okay, provided reading, writing, I mean speaking, related to what to speak, though you are ready to speak, again your psychological barrier, I mean, doesn't allow, because it's new. It's not that easy to confront, to stand in front of. But how come? Practice. On the first day, when you jump into the water, you're afraid, you have a number of, I mean, okay, psychological discussions. But in the course of time, you're comfortable, you're able to, I mean, enjoy swimming, and sometimes you're going to make others learn swimming. It's all process. So it's you need to you need to go through, I mean, stage, you have to experience. So once you're ready with your thought process, with some content, information, I mean that 8% of okay communication called verbal, then work on to practice to be with the remaining areas of communication. That is nonverbal communication and of course voice modulation. So you be there. You please remember. Again, I tell you, though it is 8% is okay when what to speak verbal part, but as far as my knowledge concerned, it's everything. If I don't have clarity on what to speak, for example, today, the 20 to 30 minutes talk given by Maheepathi sir. If I don't have clarity on what to speak, what the hell I'm going to do with my non-verbal communication and voice modulation? So this 8% is everything. This makes you guys to be out of your psychological barrier initially. Once you have clarity on what to speak with this 8%, then please work on. Okay, you need some sort of, yes, I do. I mean, understand you have some sort of starting fear, stage fear, and all. But somehow you need to encourage, or maybe you need to motivate yourself and just push yourself in front of the listeners, audience. Remember, the jerk, the push is going to, I mean, on your mesh. Once you are, I mean, on to the days, you can't stand just like mom. You're not different up. And remember, already you're comfortable with your 8%. So once you go there unknowingly, it's because based on your reading, writing, I mean, rehearsal, speaking habits, it happens. Initially, you may have some sort of starting problem, jerks, this and that. But once you have been, again, I tell you that 8%. If you don't have clarity, did not prepare properly with the, I mean, 8%, I don't think. Again, you the psychological barrier goes on. Okay, it touches you, and second time it doesn't allow. So my request to, I mean, any one of the speakers who thought of giving a talk, now I'm going to explain what is talk. Okay, be comfortable. The basic area of communication, that is verbal. The time you spend to get ready, prepare, is going to help you to enjoy the remaining area of communication, that is non-verbal and voice modulation. I mean, paralinguistics. Of course, say here, there may be, I mean, different audience, but you have your confidence. And I will go back to the first, I mean, wonderful lines. A single conversation across the table with a wise man is worth reading months of books. So it was in 2005, I think, when we were preparing ELCS lab manual for JNT affiliated colleges. Okay, we gathered all the information. Okay, so if you don't have, I mean, wise talk, if you're not going to make your talk is some sort of meaningful and wise and thought provoking information, how do you expect, I mean, listeners to listen? So, as per as my understanding, my knowledge concern, it's all this verbal 8 part decides what talk you're going to enjoy, what type of talk you're going to enjoy. Once you have wonderful thought process with wise ideas, being with your reading, writing, and speaking, then the show stops. So the nonverbal communication definitely helps you because you're confident on what you're supposed to speak. And I mean, it is being followed by your paralinguistics. It shows, that if you're not confident, if you're nervous, it's because of your 8%. That is verbal. Didn't prepare, you're not comfortable your thought process. Okay. And you don't have clarity on what you're supposed to speak. Then how come your body language is going to help? So I mean, all the learners, irrespective of, okay, whether it may be teacher or professor or maybe I mean, a kid in kindergarten school, anybody, see the time you spend to prepare is going to decide what type of talk presentation you're going to enjoy. And see here, coming to this non-verbal communication, of course, you have your own mannerisms. You have, I mean, different gesture, posture. So Sometimes, though, you can't, and you're not going to identify. So once you have been on to the days talking, presenting, please do observe. Ask someone to, I mean, catch what you're doing for 15 minutes. Everyone has some problems. Okay. So please avoid. There was a speaker who visited, I mean, our campus. I mean, an eminent speaker. He has a problem. Often he uses some sort of typical expressions. Okay, okay, okay. In every sentence. That can be avoided. Okay. Or else, I mean, someone has, I mean, a typical eye contact. He doesn't, I mean, maintain eye contact with the audience. He looks somewhere. Okay. Someone may have a typical walking style. So that can be, you know, you have, I mean, a presentation, you have a video, wonderful gadgets, both. And the last area of paralinguistics. Okay. See, don't come with a typical statement. My voice is like that. Okay. Low voice. Okay. Or maybe, I mean, a typical way of, okay. I mean, why can't we, I mean, allowable, I mean, beautiful voice? Can't we? For example, if I'm going to explain in a typical voice modulation, for let me try. So, for example, if I something MNC, an aggressive or maybe somewhat dogmatic, somewhat I mean typical. No, we are human beings. Being human, being human in human is the nature one has to. In such case, a beautiful smile. You need to smile with your eyes and face. Have a glance, and I mean see whether you are comfortable. To the listeners based on your voice modulation. So all these things are going to make some sense. Okay. So uh, again, broadly, I'm coming often the typical expression has some sense, common sense. So it's all common sense. It's all related. I hope, I mean, I'm concluding my talk. So, how to speak, which includes your nonverbal communication and paralinguistics, purely based on verbal and what to speak. So, please say here, be with that 8% verbal, what to speak, and come on to the days, and come on to the, I mean, outward, how to, I mean, turn yourself introvert to extrovert. It's all, I mean, your understanding with this verbal, non-verbal, and paralinguistics. If we can practice all together, if you're going to have some sort of understanding and what you're supposed to speak, definitely you're going to be a wise speaker. It's going to be a wise talk. So thank you, sir. Thank you, I mean, Maheepathi, sir. I hope, I mean, I could, I mean, share my ideas to this, I mean, topic called talk. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you, local viewers and listeners, for watching, I mean, this program. And please subscribe for Maheepathi Talks. He has been with wonderful thoughts and ideas related to wisdom. It definitely helps you to speak and, I mean, valuable information. So thanks once again to Maheepathi Srinivas Rao, sir. Okay, over to Maheepathi, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Madhusudhan, sir.
Thank you,
For
sir.
the valuable talk and informative and inspiring too, I can say that. You are used here and there. You are a juggler with the words, vocabulary. And you not only talk about the LSW, you also spoke about the most important thing which is missing nowadays. That is verbal and non-verbal skills. And thanks for sharing knowledge with the viewers. I hope that viewers please like the channel and also subscribe the channel. And we also request Sridhar Mati sir to give more talks in future to inspire the viewers. Thank you, Sridhar sir. Thank you very much. Have a great time. Thank you. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, sir. Thank you a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Datta Sri madam. Thank you.